Welcome to our kitchen. Today we prepare an ancient Roman liver recipe from the 7th book of De Re Coquinaria. We start with the ingredients. We need liver, cold fat, garum and spices, black pepper, lovage and bay laurel berries. We grind the spices and chop the liver. Then we marinate the liver with garum and the spices. We used pork liver, but good alternatives are goose, beef, veal or lamb liver. We marinate it for just 2 hours, so as not to overpower the flavor of the liver and the cold fat. However, you can marinate it for a longer time if you want the spices to be more prominent. Lovage can be replaced with cumin, fennel or anise seeds, used to counterfeit and substitute it according to Pliny and Dioscorides. Instead of garum, you can use a Southeast Asian fish sauce, colatura di alici, muria or salt. Full translations of the original recipes for these fish sauces, along with practical suggestions for the preparation, can be found in our new book, Early Italian Recipes, Fish, Seafood and Fish Sauces. The tradition of wrapping liver in cold fat, called omentum in Latin, already existed in ancient Greece, as we can read in Athenaeus' De Hypnosophists, written around the 3rd century, and continued beyond the Middle Ages. Versions of this dish, called fegatelli, are still prepared in Italy today, with either fennel seeds or bay laurel leaves, which can substitute the bay laurel berries of the Roman recipe. Pork liver was popular in the antiquity. Galen and Pliny write about the so-called succoton or ficatum, a term that survives in the Italian word for liver, fegato. Ficatum derives from ficus, which means fig. According to Pliny, the historical Apicius was the first to fatten pigs with figs, using the traditional technique applied to geese for their livers. We wrap the liver in cold fat, spit it and roast it over charcoal. We recommend not overcooking the liver. It should be fully cooked, but still tender and not dry. Cool fat prevents the liver from drying, keeping all the moisture inside and giving the meat a delicious flavor. Possible alternatives are olive oil or lard. Both are used by Antimus in De Observatione Ciborum in the 6th century to cook liver, although high-end Roman cuisine prefers oil. Antimus recommends grilling the liver without overcooking it, and then seasoning it with olive oil, salt and minced cilantro. To learn more about ancient food, check out our book Ancient Roman Cooking, which includes information about historical ingredients, banquets, agriculture and preservation techniques, along with several recipes translated from primary sources. For more information on meat in historical cuisine, read Early Italian Recipes, Meat, Meatballs and Sausages, dedicated to fresh and cured meats, and includes recipes from the antiquity to the end of the Renaissance. Our edition of Antimus' book is available under the title De Observatione Ciborum, Early Medieval Recipes at the Court of the Franks. The full translation of De Re Coquinaria, along with several translations of other ancient and medieval sources, as well as articles on historical food, can be found on Patreon. You will find all the links in the description below, along with links to buy us a beer and purchase our merchandise to support our work. This liver was incredibly tasty, with the spiciness of the pepper and lovage, perfectly blended with the Mediterranean flavor of the bay laurel berries, and the aromatic complexity of the grilled liver wrapped in cool fat. We recommend serving it with ancient breads such as Lixula sabina or cuboi, and with a side dish such as wild thistle or rutabaga for an authentic culinary experience. You'll find the links to the recipes in the description below. If you're interested in ancient foods and flavors, subscribe our channel and consider supporting us on Patreon.